Hey, I'm really excited to introduce Randy Staats to the Virtual Lacrosse Summit. I got a chance to coach Randy 2 years ago as I was a defensive coordinator, so I wasn't coaching the offense. But I got a chance to know him, watch him up close, get to know him as a person. And honestly, one of the best players and best guys in the game, has won 2-man cups, has won an NLL championship, won a JUCO championship, and is a pro lacrosse player in the MLL, a pro lacrosse player in the NLL, and honestly, one of the best players on the planet. And I'm so excited to have you on and watch this video with you.
Yeah, man. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
The reason why I'm so fascinated with like development models, right?
Yeah.
You've got a skill set that most people on the planet don't have. But yet there's a lot of people that receive probably a lot more coaching all the way through. And it's like, I think a lot of people think that you have to like have the best coaching, the best competition every day of your life to become great, when you can actually become great in the backyard. So.
Yeah. I mean, I think like I started off playing when I was 3 years old. So I've been playing for 20-something years now. Like you said, I just grew up playing with a stick in my hands. I mean, my brother, he wasn't obviously born yet, but my cousins played. My dad used to play. He won a couple President's Cups. So that he was a big influence on me. Also, too, like Craig Point, Cody Jamieson, those guys were a big role in my life. I grew up kind of with Craig. He was always older than me, but always hung out. Same with Jammer. But those guys I looked up to those guys because they played for the Arrows, and like around here, that's pretty much the bee's knees, right? Like you grew up watching these guys play junior A lacrosse, and in a small town where I come from, and it's kind of what you aspire to be. But yeah, I think for me was mastering like my stick skills and always having a stick in my hand, and then watching actually my dad and I would watch like film or watch what I do or stuff like that, like critique me more than give me compliments. Even if I played a great game, it would be more of a, well, you could have did this or you could have did that. And, you know, I always thought I could get better at something. And then that's when like the IQ of the game, because I think that's a big part of my game too, is knowing where the slides are and who's sliding or what's where or who to pick. And so I try to base myself on that. And like I said, growing up it was more mastering or getting good at the stick skills, and then developing into learning the game itself, both box and field. The field game was kind of harder for me to learn because I didn't really understand it until I got to OCC, and then Syracuse kind of just blew my mind. And then I really learned how to play the field game. But yeah, that's pretty much how I think I developed.
You grew up playing box as your primary organized sport, and that was what, like, kind of like end of March through the end of July or into August?
Yeah, so
box, or was there box kind of all year round?
Well, things changed in 2004 for me. Kurt Stiers built the Iroquois Lacrosse Arena. So I think I was like 13 or 12, which is a huge time for me, right? Because that's when I'm in the full swing of things. And then the arena was open all year round. Well, it still is, but like it was kind of, you can go out and play kind of whenever. So, I mean, I was there majority of the time, and they had winter leagues, you know, men's leagues. I think I was like 13 playing in the men's league, but that's another thing that helped me was playing with the older guys. But yeah, I mean, so up until then, yeah, it was just hockey in the winter, and then lacrosse in the summer, and then basketball in the winter, or lacrosse in the summer.
But you play some and hockey. You're one of the rare basketball/hockey players on the planet.
Yeah, I dabble in a little bit of both. I'm not the best at either, but I like to get out there.
Well, they're such good games for lacrosse because, you know, obviously you got the stick skills and the shooting and finishing and backhand of hockey, and then the moves of basketball.
I like to think the footwork and the picking and rolling and are the most similar to lacrosse. I mean, the way they swing the ball back and forth, you know, that's what we try to do in box and get the defense moving.
How much when you would play like backyard lacrosse, you know, with guys like Craig Point or your neighbors and stuff, would you play lots of like little games with small nets and I'm sure you're probably a decent goalie.
Yeah, we did. We used to do breakaways, best of 5 or best of 10, depending how late we stayed up. But when my brother was growing up, me, him, and my dad and my cousins would stay up till like 2 in the morning, just out there sweating it out. But yeah, so we would play posts or pick a corner or horse or, stuff like that. And then if I was just shooting around by myself, I would just kind of, I mean, it's kind of weird, but I would just think of like, pick a move I wanted to do and replicate it over and over and over again. And then put it in my mind that there's 30 seconds left or 10 seconds left. And then try to put that pressure in my head to try and get that shot off or make that move at that time.
When you guys would go over to the ILA and play, was it like a lot of like put your equipment on and go play, and just like was there games going on all the time? Was it kind of
Well, no, that would depend on like if it was booked or not. Like during the day, it's not that booked, right? Because there's nothing going on, so you could go and shoot around. Like in the summers, you're not in school, so you could just go over there and shoot around or go. Like I would go watch a lot. Like that's another thing I did. I watched like practices. I watched games. I would just sit there and pick out my favorite players, and I see something like John Grant do or Cody or Craig or anybody really, and then just be like, oh, that looks nice. Like try to put that into my game.
Yeah, watching is key, and you got so many great players to watch.
It's insane.
It is. It is cool. Let's check out this video here, shall we?
All right, let's get it going.
All right. So these first clips actually was from this past weekend, and this is one I haven't really seen you do this way before. I mean, I've seen you come around and bang a backhander, but this is like kind of a different one because you kind of posted up, and I think you like took them by surprise,
Yeah, that was what, like, because they were sliding pretty fast to me, so I kind of just sat on the island and see if they would come, and no one came, so I just kind of flicked it towards the far corner, or I don't even know where it went.
It might have gone 5-hole, but
I think it did.
Yeah, they weren't sliding. You were waiting because they know you can feed it, right? But then the way that you got this shot off was really slippery, and also maybe because there was a lefty on you with a stick behind you that it kind of opened that up for you.
Yeah, I think it's harder going up against lefties, especially because I'm right-handed, and they can close the gate pretty easy because they're obviously the head of their stick's in the way. So I think it's a harder shot to do, but it's easier to go up the right side unless I question mark or left side. Sorry.
One of the things I've always enjoyed watching was the combination of how physical you are, but also how your head is up. And I'm curious to like know what your read progression is here.
So the way I was taught was never to look at my defenseman. If you're looking at your defenseman, you're not doing anything, right? I mean, so it's always a quick scan of the field. Like I'll look wherever Shane is on that side of the field, and then I'll scan right across. And if nothing's there, I'll either roll back, or if I see something, I'll just try to get it there as fast as I can and on somebody's ear. That's the biggest thing. And we used to do this drill at Syracuse. It was just all about keeping your head up, and I think that helped me out a lot. I was waiting for that. I mean, I know Mark's a very good player, and I can sense when I can get my hands free. And I think it's Ben Seglio. He went too far into the crease, and I was kind of calling for it there.
And so you went high to high, but kind of looked low.
Yeah. So what I did here is I put my stick like my body goes short side, but my stick goes far if you watch.
Right.
See what I mean? And I just try to leave my stick hanging, so all my momentum feels like I'm going short side, but I'm trying to go far.
Yeah. You stick that shot in box all the time too, don't you?
Yeah. Try to.
Yeah.
It was a good look by Mark.
Yeah, that was. He skipped it right past that kid. This is a pretty sick little no look.
Yeah, well, this one here, I mean, you can see the defense rotating on that. Oh, you can see the D rotating, and once you get their heads turning, their hips moving, they're not really worried about picking off passes. And so I think it's easier to get skips through once you see them rotating.
Yeah, totally.
But
what do you consider yourself? Dodge first, feed first, or shoot first?
Feed first.
Yeah, I agree. I
Feet
think you're
first.
a darn good dodger and shooter, but your passing, I think, is off the charts.
Yeah, I that's what I try to do. I mean, I'll shoot, but if someone else is naked on the crease, I mean, they're gonna get the ball more than me. What do we got here? Ooh, this is a
That
good.
is a nice little roll back to your right hand, physical dodge with a behind the back feed to a righty cutter.
Yeah. So this one isn't really me. These backhand feeds that I feed to these guys are not on me at all. I mean, I think it's the timing of their cuts and them knowing when to cut. See, Palasek just cut right off that guy's back right there, and that gave him enough time and me enough time to get a flip to him. Well, he can score. See what I mean? Right there.
Totally, man.
So that I did the easy part. He kind of did the smart play and read and react there.
Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, the cut is awesome. The hard part that you did was get close enough to be able to make it pop. You had to
Yeah, well, that's the thing too, right? Like the guy's all over me, and then the slide's coming, so obviously you got to be aware of that. But if your head's up and you're aware, that's a pretty good play.
That was a couple things here. One is I noticed that you kind of like initiate contact to set up your rollback. Is that something you do on purpose, or you just do natural?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's something I'd like to do on purpose, just because I mean, for me, I'm a physical player, and it's better when they're into me because I know where they are rather than if they're stick checking, like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
If I'm away from them and I'm in their kind of zone, I think I like being into them. But um, I felt the double coming and I just tried to run to the sideline a little bit, and I knew Tommy was creeping up the goal line, so I just tried to flip that to him there.
I feel like this behind the back pass is actually like a harder angle than the last one. That's a
Yeah,
very interesting angle there.
it was low. It was kind of a bad pass, but I mean, he made it work.
Yeah, he
So
did. Oh,
the thing with
I mean,
that,
yeah. I mean, it was just such a hard angle. I mean, it was pretty sick.
I was just saying, like you're talking about the angle, like to that is a lot harder than someone cutting to your face
Yeah,
where you
that's
can
what I
just
meant.
flick it.
Yeah,
That's like right behind my back, so I had to like kind of just let up instead of going all the way around my head, just kind of stop it a little bit, like right
yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah.
and just let it.
It was almost borderline shovel.
Yeah, if
Um,
I should have threw to my left.
why throw with your left?
I'm just kidding.
You gotta love it when they pick you up this soft, though.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, because then you can run into them. That was so me and Colsey talked about this play, and there's kind of really no other place I could have passed that to him because Lazor's right on his shoulder. So I had to like put it in front of him so he could just kind of grab it and then dunk it. If you watch where this ball goes, it's right in front of him.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, laser's on his back.
I mean, the placement of this feed, but again, it's a nice short feed. I mean, it's
Yeah,
but a great handle by Cole, and
very good.
like you just said, like where you put that is the only, it's like quarterbacks that put it where only their receiver can get it.
Yeah. And then again too, right? Knowing the double's coming and just being aware.
Yeah, which is exactly why they didn't slide to you in that first clip we watched.
Yeah. What's this one? Oh.
Groundhog Day.
Yeah, this was a good one because if you see number 10, he's not doing anything. He thinks he has Palisak up there, and then Sunday cuts. So I let Bernhardt slash me to see how far he would come, and he only came as far as like 2 slashes. So he wasn't going all in. Normally he comes full speed, but there he gives me a slash and then another one, and then Sunday just cuts behind everybody.
Yeah. Were you going to kick it up top to the guy fading up top?
I was gonna, if he came any faster, I probably would have.
Yes.
But I seen him coming and he wasn't sliding any harder, so there was kind of no reason for me to run away.
Yep. Sick feed, great cut. It's almost like the number 10 was thinking that Jesse was going to go and he was going to have to rotate up, which opened up the backdoor cut.
Yeah, which was Palasek is at the very top. You can't see him in the screen, but
yep.
He rolls up there. What's this one?
Little,
Oh, yeah. So that's something I've always been trying, like I do a lot of, is kind of wind up and just shovel the back end of the crease, because as you can see, they're sliding, or I mean, they're rotating, and absolutely nobody is on Tommy.
and it allows you to really sell shot and also suck these guys right into your hand.
Yeah, because you see both of them are coming, and by the time Dan Seglio gets to where he's not even really doing anything, but he's like, you know what I mean? I pulled him far enough away to sell the shot that he has to respect it, and he has to, and then Tommy's naked.
One of the things that I feel like is like underrated about behind the back, or as you call them, backhand feeds, is I think it buys time for the receiver almost every time you do it. Like if you throw a regular pass, people can see that coming a little quicker than they can see a behind the back.
I think it's deceiving, and if you can put it right on the ear, I mean, then it's even it's even better. What's this one?
It's a nice left. I mean, backhand.
Oh, this is Tommy's. Yeah.
That
I do a lot of flip passes usually in box, but this one I thought was going to get picked off by Bernhardt. He just missed it, but thank God.
But it's almost like you threw it like right at his head, so he just couldn't get his stick there, you know?
Well, the thing with those passes too, right? If you go back and you look how quick I flip it to him, Bernhardt's not really ready. His head was down and his stick was down. So he wasn't ready for me to throw that, but I was worried. I remember this play because he's looking.
Phi-Lacrosse is so good off the ball, huh?
Yeah, he's unbelievable. He finds the space and you get it to him and he's burying it most of the time, you know? What's this one? Oh,
so
yeah.
I think this was just a really quick in and out of your stick to the backside. Maybe they were like trying to like get a guy in or something.
Yeah, well, I think the guy's playing Shane. I don't know really what he's doing, but Shane's a very good off-ball player too.
Yeah.
And I played with him for the last 4 or 5 years, and we built a great chemistry together.
I was just going to say, one of the things I remember when I asked you one time 2 summers ago, hey, let me see your stick for a second. And I was, it throws, like I almost threw it over the head of, Matthews, who I was playing catch with, because you play with such a quick release. I wouldn't say your pocket is flat, but it's definitely like really, really accurate and really quick release. And I just wanted you to comment on that as it relates to your feeding and accuracy of shooting.
Yeah, that's what everyone tells me. I got a small pocket. But I think for me, if I have like, what is it called? Hold or a channel or whatever they call it. I think I can't do flips because it gets caught in that.
Mm-hmm.
I can't do backhand passes accurately because it gets caught in that. I can't do how I play, right? So I like to have a nice, quick, get the ball out as fast as I can type of stick,
Totally. And so basically you value accuracy and quick release, and some people value holds, but I agree with you. I mean, there's nothing better than being able to put a ball in the money.
Yeah, and then, I mean, even for my shot, too, I think it helps me.
Totally.
That was just smart cutting, yeah.
That was just smart cutting, and that was you not throwing it behind the back.
Yeah, yeah.
Did you ever throw BTBs on this angle?
Not really. Depending on if I can get my hands free, like you see that check in that one. See how we let up on that? Right there. See if I can do that, but if he's on my hands, then I'll throw a backhand in there or a flip, like just try to shovel it to him.
Yeah. One of the things that I've always really enjoyed watching about your game is how much you fake. I mean, you fake passes constantly. And this clip is kind of a great example of it. I mean, your combination of physical and faking is big. So like you're kind of looking and faking there, and then you kind of split over, and then you backhand pump right there. You fake your flip pass to that guy, and then eventually someone gets lost. But I just wanted you to talk a little bit about like your mentality on not only like reading the defense, but also like manipulating
it. Yeah, so I'm trying to get 81 to come run after me. You know what I mean? Because that's the biggest thing I think in field lacrosse is drawing the double. Mm-hmm. And he's coming, but he's not coming. And then so I have enough room to go underneath to see what's going to happen again. Nothing happens. And see, right there. And that one guy's just ball watching. And Shane's, like I said, Shane's so good off ball. But I think for me, is just trying to work them, like make them come play me and respect, kind
Yeah.
of respect it. And so he just stays there. Really, he could have doubled me. And I think for me, anyways, if you go to me on that when my head's turned, that's tough. But
Right here, he was thinking of, he was actually starting to come, and then
he
you
probably,
pumped it, and he went away.
yeah, yeah. So and then Shane did a really good play right there. That guy was ball watching, and
Just
you'll probably
brings the
see this.
guy right over so he can backdoor, right?
Yeah, exactly. You'll see this in the box clips how he baits and just goes to the net.
So this is you, little dump down, get it back, and then what? Screenshot.
Yeah, so I mean, I felt that 68 got off me. I mean, enough for me to turn and use him as a screen, and it worked out.
Where'd you go with
So
that shot?
far side low.
Far side low.
Yep.
When you do that, are you trying to lift your body up a little bit? Like, you know how you said you leaned left to go far side high? Are you like lifting up a little bit to go far side low?
On this one, I'm just trying to hide my stick because I don't want Dylan to see where I'm shooting. See what I mean?
Uh-huh.
And I want him to see at the last second where the ball's coming out because he can't see where it is until there.
Yeah.
And then it's too late.
And you're hiding it around the screen of the guy you're shooting.
Around myself and then the screen, yeah.
Yeah.
This time the slide came.
Yep. I mean, you love it when the slides come. Makes it easier.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean,
is that Shane again?
Yep.
He just sits there and waits. He's just like, I bet he's saying like, bro, you better go. He's going to score if you don't go.
Yeah, or he's like, I'm gonna score. Please go. But yeah, this one I think Sullivan does a good job. He's really tough defender. But for me personally, I got to get higher.
Yeah.
I'm at 5-5. I should be like at 8 or 7.
Yeah.
But no, this was a good job, and I was lucky enough to get one hand off and flip it into Shaner.
Right. And this is like, kind of the equivalent of your two hand, but it's just with one. It's with your top hand only, right? Because you're kind of holding the guy off with your right hand while you pass it with your left. And one of the things I wanted to comment on too is the way that you're choked up, like 6 or 8 inches or something on your stick. How often do you choke up when you like split, go to your one hand like that? Do you usually choke up a few inches, or do you hold it at the end so you can have a little bit more strength?
I usually choke up because you got more power and more accuracy like that. And if you keep your hand at the bottom of your stick, you're more likely to leave more hanging up top for like an over the head check.
Yep.
But if you have it half choked up, quarter of the way up, then you'll have more power, I think, and you can do much more.
And it's quicker.
Yeah, exactly.
Get it out so much quicker. Yeah. I see so many kids like that I coach split to one hand, and then they hold it at the very end of their stick.
Oh,
and they're just kind of limited,
Yeah. Well, especially it depends what you're doing. If you're like dodging, splitting to like not make something happen.
Yeah, you can do it. Yeah, I agree. Like if you're just gonna get underneath the guy and just score, maybe you don't have to, but it's still a good habit, anyways.
Who we got here?
So here we got you against a lefty,
Sullivan,
and you got underneath.
Yeah. Yeah. So here, what I'm saying, I struggled with getting to the 5-5 or higher this year. That's like my goal. So here I'm at like 4. But he lays off, and I get inside of his shoulder, and I'm able to kind of put it around Dill.
Why do you think he laid off a little? Or do you think it was
because
like last check?
The first contact, if you go back to the first one, look how far away he is from me. Right. Keep going. There, and then one more, and then I get that space I need to kind of get around him.
Yeah.
But it all starts with the first contact of getting him off balance.
Yeah.
You see his momentum's coming like right at me.
You basically got like 3 contacts on him, right? One here, and then another one
That's
there, and you kind of bounced off that one. But then you pin his hands right here. The way you
yeah.
got into his cross check there was probably what made it.
He couldn't extend his arms like how he was on those last two.
Yeah.
See, I got inside of his. Yeah.
How tall are you and how much do you weigh?
I am 6'2.5" and I weigh like 215.
Hey, old school clip right here.
Oh yeah, I was checking this out. Yeah.
I think this
I
might
don't
have been the
remember.
year before I got there. I don't even know if I was at the or I
I
wasn't.
don't remember this play.
I don't either.
But here, yeah, he overplays it big time. After I sell up, oh, that's a shot. That's Deemer class shooting.
Oh yeah. So wait, he overplays this top side. You mean?
Yeah, because I
Yeah,
look
but were
like
you trying to set that up a little bit? You must have.
yeah,
Yeah.
because look, I look to feed and he takes his top side like how he should, and then he overplays, and then you just go
This is
face
funny
dodge.
because in college lacrosse, all they do to the defenseman is just beat it into them to have an approach with their poke right into your chest. But when you
Yeah,
stop practicing and getting yelled at every day about it, this is how you approach sometimes.
yeah,
Lift their stick right up in the air and they're done.
yeah. So
But
that one worked.
classic job of coming across the front of the net to finish that.
Yep, he always got to finish around the net, better angle.
Deemer
Yeah,
class.
that's Deemer just stepping down.
Now, I want to ask you a question. I've seen you finish a million of these from over the years, from college days at Syracuse to your pro days at the Blaze. And when you're playing a fast break and you play this low right a lot, what are you looking at? Like, what are you doing? Where are you putting this ball? Are you just
Far
shooting
side high.
far side high?
Yep.
And how are you deceiving the goalie on that?
I mean, if you really look at it, my body still is going short side. Like,
Yeah.
and then I just try. It's quick too. That's another thing. I try to catch it and I already know where I'm shooting. And as soon as I catch it, I'm one cradle and it's gone.
And you lean left, shoot right. And how much of a 3/4 angle of your stick is it? Is it overhand or is it kind of like out there a little bit to give you more far side angle?
It's probably like a round. Like it's like around the thing, not straight overhand, but it's like a in between a sidearm and a overhand, I guess.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a reach.
Yeah, it's a little bit of reach, and it's all about quickness. Ooh.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's get into some box highlights.
All right, sounds good.
I love watching the Swarm play.
Yeah, it's fun.
Guys are so ridiculous. Just real quick, rattle off. I know it's you, Lyle, Miles, Jackson.
Tony,
Who else you got?
Yeah, me, Lyle, Miles, Shane Jackson, Jordan Hall, Katoni, Zed Williams. Here, oh yeah. So the reason why this works is because I separate from 71 at the beginning of this. I get enough. I push him off, and then Sorensen's back's completely turned to me, and then they both have to go.
That was really sick. Now, the way you spin and push your guy away to create separation, is that something you do a lot?
I do it all. Yeah, for Lyle, I do it a lot. Well, I do it a lot because, I've played with him for a long, long time now. And I just started doing that pick probably like 3 years ago. And you'll see against San Diego, I do this a couple times a game. Is I can just seal his guy and my guy, and he can go right down Main Street. But this time, I had to make adjustments because teams were catching on to what I was doing.
Yeah.
So this one, I just spun and pushed him out, and then Sorensen's back's completely exposed to me. Yeah. They both have to go, and then I'm 1-on-1 with Rosie.
And so what did you do on this finish?
I faked far side, faked short, and then dropped it 5-hole. If you see him, he lifts his stick, and then it goes in between his legs.
When you go 5-hole, are you trying to go a high 5-hole or low 5-hole, or do you ever think about the difference?
I try to bounce it usually because as soon as if I see his stick, or if I try to throw it high 5-hole, then his stick's already in the air, so I don't want to hit that. So you see his stick right there.
Yeah.
I want to bounce it right there.
So you want to put it right where his stick is or was.
Was right there.
Fake
See,
far, fake near, and then
yeah,
is
he
there
sells.
when you release it, are you selling anything else? Like as you're releasing it, are you like trying to get him up or
I'm
something?
just trying to get it there as fast as I can.
Yeah.
Before he recovers, right? Because if it goes far, short, and
Yeah. That was a sick finish.
I did this move since midget
What
or
is it?
band. Fake short side, keep running and shoot it far, high far side.
By far. And then you just beat him with your quick release.
Yeah, one
You
fake
ever
and
keep
then
him honest and just jam it near side just to keep him honest every now and then?
it depends on what shot I'm on. So box is different, right? Like I set up goalies. Like I'll shoot a couple times far side, then hook one back short side, or I'll shoot a couple short side, then put one far foot. You know what I mean? So it's more of a mind game in the indoor game. But I think this is still the first quarter, so I was just trying to score.
Yeah. Are you choked up on your stick a little bit here, or you got your stick at the hand at the end?
No, sticks at full length.
Full.
I remember that goal too.
How about this one?
Short side.
This was?
Yeah. It's all on my wind up. Look at how he's going, like how I do this a lot. No one probably knows that, but look at my shoulders. They're all going towards like,
Far pipe.
see my body leaning
Yeah.
and then following through. He thinks I'm going far side if you look at his left shoulder.
Yeah.
And then I just hook it back.
You're selling far.
I'm selling. Look how far out my stick is. Like how wide it, like, you know, how far out it's coming around.
Yeah.
So he thinks from his point is that I'm going far side, but then you just like drop it in the short side.
Totally. And even like the way your feet are pointed too.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Either,
everything about you is kind of pointing that way.
yeah.
The way your body is. And then it was a pretty slick little read on your part too, because Lau comes down and they're trying to spin off the seal. And so you just sort of like let them go to the wrong side. Did you see that coming?
That's a set play.
Oh, it is?
Yeah. He did a great seal, actually.
He did.
Yeah. He's a great player too.
Yeah, he is.
He's the best. Yeah, so that I mean, as a player, you can read that and feel how open you are, so you don't want to run to danger usually.
Right.
I remember the shot. This is a leaner.
So describe what you mean exactly by a leaner.
Okay, so I think that's Baptiste. Look at my hands right there. You can see like I twist. Well, I guess it's a twister.
Yeah.
I twist my hand. Yeah, I twist my hands over, and my body stays the same. And the effect of it is I want the goalie to think I'm going to the other side or low. And it's a lot easier to do when you're coming across to lean to the same side because all you're doing is just flicking your wrist.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And your momentum's still going the same way. And the release point of the ball is halfway across my body. If you look.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like inside out like this.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then you just follow through with that and then pick a target. See, goes going the other way.
Cody shoots this shot all the time, right?
Yeah, Cody is so why I said if I'm going the same way, he can do it going like anywhere. So he's got it mastered pretty good.
Your younger brother's got it mastered pretty good too. He hit a couple shots in the Man Cup a few years ago that were just like ridiculous. Full corner.
He's got a heck of a shot.
Yeah.
He copycat.
Yeah, this is sick. And it almost works better. You shot this shot at Syracuse all the time too. Whenever you'd get a shot from the wrong side, that's the shot. It was like a twister, leaner, curve ball, whatever you want to call it, but it was short side. Yeah, it's a sick shot. Everybody will have that one in their repertoire.
It feels good too.
It does.
Those ones. Oh yeah, this one I never do this. I usually twist it back to the short side,
Uh-huh.
but this time I went far side hip. It would be
So
well,
to
it
the
would be
left pipe, basically.
yeah, left pipe.
Yeah. So you're
Yeah,
on the
see
wrong
my
side.
stick again? Instead of twisting it back to the side right pipe, I guess, yeah. I
Yeah.
twist it to his far left pipe where his stick glove is.
So you increase some angle, and usually you don't do that because it's kind of a telltale sign that you're shooting it there, which is why it works when you go against the grain.
Yeah, I think so. I think that's why I worked this time because usually I go right side pipe high
Yeah.
by doing that same thing.
I remember Jeremy Noble shooting that shot all the time in the field.
Yep.
Quick release. Oh, this was insane. I don't even know how you had the presence of mind to pass that one. That was crazy.
Shane's always sitting over there.
He'll catch
That's,
anything too, I bet.
yeah, so this one here is just off a reset, and I mean, you see, I don't know who that is on the crease there for Philly. Kind of out of position a little bit,
Uh-huh.
so I just kind of get it there as fast as I can.
Most people would have thought of shooting.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, right? The goalie's going to come out, and that helps Shane, right?
Yep.
Get it as fast as he can and turn and shoot. This one was cool. He didn't even he faked it, and it slipped out of his stick.
I was wondering. It looked like a Bugs Bunny slow ball.
Yeah, but yeah, he just made a good cut, and I mean, especially in box, you have to find those guys, and if you don't, then that's a missed opportunity.
Yeah.
Ooh, this is one of my.
This is sick.
So this is
This is you just basically this is like dad against son.
no, this is a move I use a lot. I usually use it when I'm running on the floor. When guys come to meet you to check you, I always try to push their stick down, and then that way their momentum goes that way, and I go towards the net. But this way, he was kind of hung up on me, and I just kind of grabbed his stick and pushed it down, and then went to the net like I was talking about. And then I went far side high with a little twister there.
That probably works better against some guys than others.
Yeah, well, yeah. Some guys who are over aggressive, it works good on.
Yeah. Now, who's feeding you there?
Zed Williams.
Zed. He knew that was coming, eh?
I don't know if he did. I yelled, I think. I yelled, and he just put it right in my stick, tape to tape.
Here's one of those picks again. That's your spin double seal right down
the
street.
Yeah. So how this works? This is clutch information here. Holy. So how this works is getting my defender's hips turned and then resealing him down like that. So because in all defensemen are taught to stay to anchor the crease, which this guy's doing, and the guy I'm on is supposed to pop to Lyle. So if I seal him into the anchor, then that should be.
So you basically kind of like hook him around, and then you flip his hips the wrong way, and then
kind of use his momentum to my advantage.
Yeah.
And then Lyle does his thing.
By the way, this is something that Lyle does. Matthews did it the other day. You do this, and this is like the way he hard pumps right there, shoulder. Yeah. Everybody stands. When you do that, if you get into space and you hard pump, everybody just puts a stick out, and then they just think you're shooting it. And even
if you look at Scigliano when he does it, he bites. And that's when Lyle runs right around him.
Yeah, the goalie bites. Yeah.
Yeah, he can't recover.
It's so crazy. That pump right there, that's like one of the coolest freaking skills ever. And yeah, the goalie totally bites. And how many times have you watched Lyle just throw it into basically an empty net after he
a couple, more than a handful of times a year, I know that.
Crazy. So
this is I tried to do this a lot. Quick stick, cross crease, tapping. I do this just because I think the goalie always wants to come out and play me. You see, Frankie took that one step when right there.
Yes.
He takes a step out, and then it's in the back of the net from Katoni.
Yeah.
And those are the easiest goals, right? Why make it hard on ourselves and shoot the ball when you could just dunk her in there? But yeah, what's this one?
This is.
Oh, Shane. So this is on Shane. You watch Shane. Stays. Sorry, he stays like he's staying high, like he's doing nothing. Then he just takes off. I ain't doing nothing. Gone.
And then when the defender's back doesn't looking at you, you can just feed it, right?
Yeah. Well, yeah. For me, I mean, those are like easy ones for me, right? Because I don't have a long pole on me, and he's not really pressuring me too much. So those ones are like I can deal with that little contact, and then he's not even near me. But another thing, if you look at Shane's far side bounce shot that he just does, it's nice. He does it a lot.
He did far side bouncer off the one timer as the goalie's coming across to the.
Yes.
That's sick.
Right there. Back to that side. It's very. I've tried to do it. I can't do it. I mean, I don't really get passes like that, but he's mastered that. He just because look at the goalie's leg. It always bends.
Yeah. Got it. He has to collapse that leg down to get there, and then
to try to get far side because he thinks he's going to quick stick it.
Because almost everybody goes short side on their one timers right there.
Usually, yeah.
Is he redirecting it, or is it he's not reaching in the same motion? Is he, or is he a little bit?
He's just catching it and then putting it right back.
Putting it, yeah. Sick.
Oh, this is Lyle.
Yeah. This is
yeah.
How come he gets so open?
He's not really that open. His stick is.
But he didn't get jacked on the way in,
No. I think why this one worked is because he's already got inside position on whoever that is. I don't know who that is. So it's literally he's got inside position, and I think once you have inside position and your stick's free, it's a decent look at the net.
But I feel like also it almost looks like he's going to set a pick for the lefty, and then he slips through it. I mean, I'm wondering if I thought there was going to be a shot coming out of lefty, which is one of the reasons.
I think another thing too is that he's clearing out for the top side guy.
Yeah.
Which is me. And yeah, he was.
Where does he put it? 5-hole?
I think 5-hole or either by his glove.
Yeah. Tough shot on the wrong side, but it was nice.
Yeah, it is. Oh, okay. I remember this one.
Who's this again?
So the reason why this one works is because, again, the anchor guy went to Bomber and so didn't my guy. So I just kind of brushed Bomber's guy and kind of turned and right there. Didn't really push him too hard. Back pedal. Then I gave a actually that one was different. Short side, far side, up, and then down.
Were you thinking about dunking it?
No, I knew he was up, so I tried to get it down as fast as I could. Short side, yeah.
Sick.
I could have kept coming across the crease too. I got to start doing that. What's this one?
It's always good to watch film.
Yeah, it is. This is so.
That's your best Shane Jackson impression.
Yeah. So this one here is all about.
This is movement.
Moving off ball. If you watch it, I don't stop moving off ball. I'm either hitting my guy or hitting Lyle's guy, trying to find some space. Well, Lyle set a really good pick there to get me open. If you look at that,
he did. Lyle also had a really sweet give and go right here where he gives it up and goes when he could have shot, and it really makes the defense kind of collapse on his cut.
Yeah, that's a good pick.
That was a great pick.
I went high 5-hole on this one.
You did?
Yeah.
Because he wasn't moving?
I think it was just the quickness of my shot. You see how his stick stick is.
Yeah.
He kind of has it like.
How often do guys shoot the high 5 hole versus low 5?
Some guys a lot. Some guys do a lot. I mean, I usually don't, but sometimes it's just reaction.
Yeah. It's cool. Man, I wish I'd played box. So I played 1 year for the Boston Blazers in 1993, and Marty O'Neill was their goalie, and he was like,
Yeah.
"Hey, buddy, did you play offense in college?" I was like, "Yes," because like you don't know how to score on good goalies until like it takes years, right?
Well, it's a smaller target, man. It's different timing.
It is. It's all is really different.
What do we got here? Oh, this is Shane back cutting somebody. Let me see here. Hang on. Oh, that's a good pick. Whoever set that pick. I think it was Colsey. Colsey set the pick, and so why this works, Coles sets the pick and goes hard to the net, which makes number 18 right there have to play one of the two.
Yeah.
And so he picked Brian, and that leaves Shane wide open on the doorstep.
That pick created a 2-on-1 in the net, basically.
Yeah.
Right? What could that defenseman have done different?
I mean, he could either go play Shane and let Colsey have a walk right down the middle. Like, right. See what I mean? Pause it.
Yeah.
So he's got to either pick one of the two.
Right.
Because he thinks I'm probably going to pass it to Brian because he's right in the middle of the net.
Totally.
And then Shane's sitting back door.
But what could this defenseman who's getting picked that initially was on Shane, what could
he's got to recover, right? Because look how hard he gets picked. That's a good pick. His momentum is totally gone.
Yeah, he's done.
As soon as that happens, that's the difference, right? Right there in box lacrosse. That's a foot probably.
Yeah, that was sick.
Oh, this is Zed being a beast. Zed got me open on this one. So here, Zed got knocked down there, but went back to set a pick. And like I said before, the anchor guy is supposed to cover the underneath, and Cree's supposed to go to Zed. So there's a miscommunication on that part. And then it's a fake short side go far like I did on that breakaway.
Fake short go far, yeah. Real quick, one of the things I always notice about box players, and I remember noticing, honestly, I noticed this for the first time a ton when I was watching the 2017 Minto Cup when your brother was the MVP. And this posture that you're in right now, that posture, the low cradle, while you're basically setting your man up, while you're keeping him honest, while you're backing him off, if you want, there's so many different applications to this, but I look at this as one of the most important parts of box lacrosse that you don't learn as much in field, but I was wondering if you had any comments on that.
Yeah, I think I do that to try and either get him to think I'm going over the top, like jab stepping over the top, or going underneath. So I want him to kind of be worried about what way I'm going to go.
And that time you got yourself underneath.
Yeah, what Zed did, yeah.
Yeah.
This is a power play. This is a set play too. I don't ever shoot underhand.
I was going to say. I've seen you shoot sidearm in field. I don't think I've ever seen you shoot low to high.
Yeah, I don't really ever do that. And I think that's why I shot this shot. Because I played against Rosie for over 10 years now. And he's probably got a pretty good read on me. And this shot, I just shot around Lyle and who's that? Latrell Harris. And I just, so he definitely probably wasn't expecting that from me.
You weren't even expecting that from me.
Yeah. Oh, this is so I do a big wind-up fake here, and then I just, as fast as I can, as soon as I do that fake, I pass it to Shane, because I know Rosie is stepping out just enough, and just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So here, fake it, just pump it to him, and
that guy's such a nice guy to have on the backside, eh?
Yeah, he catches and finishes everything.
So what happened on this one?
So here I got top side. Lyle set good picks, and Kieran McCardle's on me. So what we try to do when offensive players on you is get them in a two-man game. So we did that, and then Crease slid over to help recover, and I just dished it off to, I think that's Katoni or Shane.
By the way, Lyle does a reverse action. He went the underneath.
Yeah, he did it way different, which is good.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's basically the same idea. It's just that he just went on the other way around.
Yeah.
That was pretty sweet.
Yeah. And then, so I think it was Shane. Yeah, it was Shane.
Just a little draw and dump, and then let him go back for good measure.
So these are tough ones for me because Lyle sets a good pick here. And as a player, Sorensen does a good job of playing two.
Yeah.
So like sometimes if I would pass it to Lyle, he's already on him basically.
Yeah.
So what we try to do is I would usually shoot this the first couple of times, and then make Sorensen respect that, and then him hopefully fire up to me later on in the game, and then I'd pass it to Lyle. But this time I shot short side hip around a screen. And I think why this one worked is because I get my feet planted, and that's a big thing. My feet are planted and my body is all going towards the net.
So one of the things I've been noticing a lot, I watch Dane Dobie do this all the time. And what he does is he almost invites the guy to think he's going to get over the top, and then he doesn't. And it's almost like if they run into the pick, they can switch it more easily. But you know how you can almost invite them to think you can get over, but then they can't. And once they're committed to going over, they can't switch anymore, right?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean by that?
Kind of, yeah.
So he's putting some pressure on you.
Yep.
If he would have fought over a little bit more, you would have and got chipped, you would have had the 2-on-1 going in with Lyle.
Or if he would have.
I've noticed Dane Dobie do this all the time. Like he basically is going back and forth, and then the next thing you know, there's someone who just maybe they just think he's not athletic enough and they try to attack him, but he just invites him to attack, and then he kind of hesitates. They get chipped on the pick, and then he's walking in.
And I think that's why I think the chip is the biggest part. Maybe if Lyle would have pushed that longer, they would have. Sorensen would have been like, "Holy crap! I got to get out there, stop the shot."
Yeah. Or if Lyle would have hit him harder, or if you would have sucked him to you a little bit more, just a little bit. Yeah.
Or if I let him play me, like just if I was
just a little bit. That's one of the things I've been noticing about two-man game is just this nuance of keeping both guys under your control. And if they want to play you, then invite them right out, and then they'll get chipped. And it's almost like the best pick and rolls happen when one guy's trying to get over and the other guy, and he gets chipped, and then they're just walking in.
Yeah. Yep, you're totally right on that. The ball carrier needs to engage his man for any two-man game to work.
One of the things that Hunt's always talked about, and I want to ask you when you're talking about setting your feet here, but Dave Huntley always talked about using your transfer of your weight from your back foot to your front foot with a subtle hesitation. Like, Kevin Rice does that all the time. He puts up. You do it too. You have such a quick release that sometimes I don't think you need to. If you're just going far side, I bet you just kind of release it quick. But do you ever think about changing up, releasing it slightly late as you kind of do those low high windups? You know what I mean by that?
Yeah, I mean, here it depends. Like, I want to hang mine is all about my wrists and where my body position is. Like here, I want to, because Rosie knows I shoot far side twisters a lot.
Yeah.
So I want him to think my stick's going way out of towards the far side, and then I hook it back. So that's kind of one of the things that on these shots, I try to deceive goalies with, it's either turning my wrist or breaking them. So
the swing angle.
Yeah.
Totally.
And if you talk to goalies around the league, the hardest thing to shot is the same release point.
When you can put it in different spots, you mean?
Yeah, but no, if you can release the ball at the same release point and then put the ball in different areas, they think that's well, I mean, from the goalies I've talked to.
Huh.
This one here.
This is sick. This is multiple hitches.
Yeah, so this was me pumping. How much time is left on this shot clock? 15 seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like I had time and room. They didn't really get on my hands here. I just pumped it. And I think I went far under his glove.
Watch these guys jump up in the air once.
Yeah.
They'll jump up in the air right on your pump.
Yeah. One. Even the goalie moves a little bit.
Yeah.
So.
The power of pause.
Yeah. Patience.
And patience.
Ooh, this was a good one too. I remember this one. I thought I was going to get called on a moving pick. Lyle does a good job here of letting Sorensen, like Sorensen, if you get somebody's back,
yeah,
that's huge. So I was able to get Sorensen's back, and I was also able to create separation by bumping into my guy first.
Yeah, you did big time.
That allows him to get off balance, and he's like, oh, what do I got to do? Jump to Lyle. And then I am able to get free on crease.
When do you think you feed this behind the back if you're Lyle versus kind of wrapping it around just based on the stick angle of the defender?
Well, no one's on his hands. I would say if somebody was on his hands, like, you know what I mean? He's got time there. Yeah. If that guy was there a second or two earlier, then he would probably have to backhand it to me.
Yeah.
But not in this case because he's got all the time.
Yeah.
And that was I think 5-hole.
5-hole finish.
Yeah.
Oh, what do you know? Yeah. Shane Jackson going back door again?
Yeah.
All day.
Yeah, hang on a second. Oh, hang on a sec. Sorry.
You know,
what's up, guys? How's it going? Hang on. I'm in the middle of an interview right now. Hang on. Come back in like 10 minutes. Okay? Sorry. Here, you want to play with Nala? Nala, come here. Sorry. The neighbors came over.
No, so
come on. Go outside.
Okay. You're going to have to go out and go shoot.
I'll be right back. Yeah, sorry. My little cousins live next door, and they come over and hang out and play with the dog and stuff. All right, sorry.
No worries, man. All right, so yeah, I won't keep you too much longer. We got probably another minute.
No worries.
5 minutes, but, so that is such a sick play. I love the cross crease behind the back feed. I think it's one of the most deceiving best feeds going.
Yeah. So
you're doing your little spin seal first, but they switched
it.
And
then I popped to try to help. Got my hands free. And if you watch Beers here, the way he gets out of position is trying to help or trying to double Lyle. It's at the beginning.
Oh yeah.
Right there. And then Shane just quick sticks it. Beers turns his head and then Shane cuts. And I see him the whole time. I'm trying to buy time. And then he gets to the crease. And then I'm able to pass backhand across the floor.
It's so interesting too, because like right here, you know, they would assume, I think people are like looking for that inside feed, but when you start coming back up the field, it doesn't look like you're going there anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, for me, if you go back, I can't pass it to him. I can't pass it to him right here. He's open right here.
Yeah.
I have one hand on my stick and I can't do anything. So I have to wait till I get two hands back on my stick. I see him, my head's up, and then I can flip him a pass.
You also can't throw it because, like, there's traffic in the way. You know, the lane opens up there, you know.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one of the things about backhands or behind-the-back passes, too, is a lot of times the lanes open up later, and people think it's over. They think, oh, he's not going to get the ball anymore, and then all of a sudden it's in the back of the net.
Yeah. So, I mean, Shane did a good job on reading his man there again. That's
This was
short side.
ridiculous. Short side bouncer?
Yeah.
Is this a shot you work on or just did?
I mean, it's kind of something you try to do. Here, I'm trying to see why it works. It's the release here. Um, I'm assuming he's thinking I'm going far side because my stick is turned like I would usually go far side. It's up high,
Uh-huh.
and it looks like I'm trying to do a twister,
Yeah.
but then I snap it back short side, and that probably got him off his post just as much as I needed there.
And this was that zone defense, basically, where they just force you down, and then it just turns into a little 2-on-1 with the anchor guy down there.
Yeah, I could even have passed it behind the net for Moose to dunk it.
Probably, right?
Yeah. So this one here, I was probably screaming for the ball because, I mean, you know how open you don't, like right there. Or go back to the beginning.
Right here?
Yeah. Right here, I'm open and I feel it. And in box, you don't really get that open
Yeah.
too often right there. So I can feel that. So I'm kind of screaming for the ball. Now he has to react to me. And by me pushing and bumping him, get separation. And then I shoot it right after I bump him. Short side, high.
What did you do to get him off balance? I mean, it looks like you kind of like sold like
Well,
you're going underneath.
I pumped it first. Like I turned my body like I was going to shoot
Yeah.
right there. And then I bump into him, get good separation. And then right off that, I just turn and shoot it.
Yeah.
But all that whole time, he's trying to run out and play me. So like that's his momentum is coming this way. And then when he thinks I'm going in, then he's off balance.
So you kind of like pumped there, got his hand up, and then you almost pivoted. Like that step right there made it seem like you were going underneath.
Yeah.
And then you just
that time I brought my stick far again and went short side.
Oh, you did? Brought your stick far? All right. This is really interesting. This is like when you watch two-man game, we were talking before about how like you can invite the guys over the top if they want to pressure and get them chipped. Here, you know, Lyle's trying to seal and they're trying to like, you know, fight over that, and you just basically shoot because they're not switching, right?
Yeah. So the reason why they're not switching is because this anchor man is anchoring the crease and he's waiting for this guy, the top guy that Lyle's sealing, to come over and pick me up. So I just use them to my advantage because nobody's on my hands, and then I shoot right around them.
And you shot around your man and went 5-hole?
Yeah. He probably thought I was going far side. I was trying to go short side, but it ended up going 5-hole.
That's the best.
Yeah. Yeah. Trick yourself too.
That's like Darius talks about how like he'll be trying to throw it far side high and he'll pull it near side for a game winner in the NLL championship.
He's very good at that.
I sent him this video, by the way.
Oh yeah.
I texted it to him.
What'd he have to say?
His exact words were, Randy has come into his own and is a truly great player. That's pretty good.
That's coming from him. That's really good. Yeah. Thanks, Darius.
That's the best.
What's this one? This is the last clip?
I think it is. So this is pretty sick play because you didn't have a ton of angle on this. I don't even know how it went in.
And the biggest thing on this is the shot clock.
Oh, yeah.
That's why I shot that.
Because you had to.
So
do something.
Yeah. So here, usually, if I can get underneath or do anything, I try to put it a reset off his shin pads or a reset up high off his uppers here, so it bounces and deflects high.
Yeah.
So this one, I usually try to go far side, and I think it went far side here.
Oh, that did?
And
went far side?
Yep. Yeah.
By the way, like all your players are running off. So even if there was like a shot off the pads, like it's pretty much 5 against.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's why that one went on.
Randy, thank you so much. That was a blast, man. I love talking lacrosse with you and watching you and listening to you articulate why you do what you do. And I really think you're going to help a lot of players get inside your head. So it's awesome stuff, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks. I hope I helped you out a lot, and I enjoyed it too.
It's fantastic. I will keep in touch, and maybe when you get out to Denver and play the Mammoth, we can run into our paths will cross.
Yeah, man. Sounds good to me.
All right, man. Hey, have a great day, and thank you so much.
All right. Thanks. Bye.